does Texas and Oklahoma move mean for West Virginia and the rest of the Big 12? Personally, I am super kind of confused about this. Not necessarily confused, just kind of shocked, and I don't know what the Big 12 will do in a lot of these teams, in my opinion, because they're kind of in a rough patch, I guess you could say. You know, there's not a whole lot they can do at this point in time. You know, I think West Virginia has three options here. I think they can go to like a team like the who knows, like personally I think they'll end up personally I think they'll try and end up in the ACC if however possible. I think they're going to try and go to the ACC, or if they get an invite, I think as soon as they get an invite to the ACC, they join immediately. ACC, they want to join the ACC extremely bad right now. They want to go to the ACC as soon as possible if the opportunity comes at hand. I also believe that they will either, maybe stay in the Big 12, get their money from Texas and Oklahoma, which will be well needed because we're talking about 15 to 30 million dollars that each school will pay. Um, you know, uh, every school in the Big 12. So that's not just like money that's laying around. That's gonna hurt Oklahoma and Texas a little bit until they join the SEC, which as of right now is 2025. But personally, I do believe it will be sometime in the next 2 years. It's not going to be this season. Could be the 2022-2023 season, in my opinion. And let's just say they do end up joining the ACC. Who's going to join with them? The ACC needs some bigger teams in football. That's where they're really struggling right now. They only have Oklahoma and not Oklahoma, Clemson and Florida State and Miami some years. That's not good enough considering the SEC has Oklahoma, Texas, Alabama, Florida, Georgia, LSU. ACC will not be able to keep up in football with this new power SEC. You need somebody to come in like a Notre Dame. Notre Dame's on contract with the ACC. If they opt to join a conference in like next couple years, it has to be the ACC. So in my opinion, they don't have to join. Notre Dame doesn't have to join a conference right now. I think they will join the ACC soon, but they won't do it quite yet. I think they'll wait a year because, after 2025 season, you have the 12-team playoff. That's going to be huge. And I think if Notre Dame has a decent season, like maybe a 9-1 or a 9-2 season in the regular season, then they get snubbed in the playoff even with 12 teams. They join ACC. But if that doesn't happen, they stay in the independents because they don't need to make a move right now. They don't have to make a frantic move because joining the ACC, sure they join a conference, but who are you joining in with? Like you're joining in with Clemson. It's Clemson, and who knows how good Clemson's going to be this year? They're still going to be a good team. Don't get me wrong, but now you don't have your golden angel boy in Trevor Lawrence. So what does the ACC do now if Clemson isn't a power team this year? They're going to fall off a little bit. And personally, I don't think they're a Power 5 school in football by any means. Maybe, you got USC's, or not USC, UNC. They're a good team this year. Then, maybe Miami is going to be pretty good. They play Alabama week 1, but they're going to fall off a little bit. They're probably going to get blown out. There's like a 19-point difference for Alabama predicted to win. So it's not even going to be a good game. I don't know why people are trying to hype it up. It's not a big game. It's not like Alabama and Clemson last year going at each other in the regular season, So personally, I do not know if West Virginia, if they do join the ACC, somebody has to join with them. But I do think the ACC is frantically trying to move teams into their conference to keep up with the SEC because they're already kind of in SEC territory, and I don't see the ACC going after UCF or USF. That's just me, in my opinion.